Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Just Angie Takeover. Today I'm with three lovely women who will be talking to us about, women in business. They're all in their fields thriving and just getting some insight into how the journey has been for them. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting from my left. Hey, she's normally behind the camera. Today she's in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's so strange. My name is Beryl Shalom. Recently Shalom.
Hey.
Yeah.
What do you
else
do?
am I saying? Oh yes, I am in the creative industry. I do digital content creation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Zia Nyamari and I am the CEO and founder of Zia Africa, which is a sustainable fashion brand for women and children.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheila Ndinda. I'm in the beauty industry. Should I call it beauty? It's beauty, yeah. I own a salon called Spritz Hair Studio.
Thank you guys for introducing them yourselves. Yeah, so powerhouses are here with us today. I know you all know their brands. And yeah, even Zia is wearing her lovely Zia Africa.
My
Looking so
hair
good.
is courtesy of
Yeah,
Spritz.
Spritz. Can you see the fro? It's so good. So I guess we can dive in just starting when you were beginning your journey. Like what inspired you to start your entrepreneurial journey? Anyone can go.
I think I can go first. Before I started Spritz, I was a content creator. I think most people don't know that I was in corporate for years. My first job, I used to work as an IT consultant. I was working in a small computer shop selling laptops.
Wow.
Then I just progressed from there, from one job to the next job to the next job. Then I was in hospitality for like close to 7 years. So that's where I got the momentum. And then I started content creation because I had this passion for hair. But to be honest, my entrepreneurship skills, I was just like, I need to make extra money. I was like, what am I going to do to make extra money? And that's just how Spritz came along.
Wow.
I was like, I can do something in the hair industry because already I was doing content for hair. So I was like, okay, what else can I do? I started thinking about it and I was like, a salon it is.
And you used to do natural hair, right? Your own natural hair. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I
content.
was OG people know me from YouTube.
Yeah.
I haven't been on YouTube for years, but I just used to wake up every day. I'm like, oh, let me film this tutorial for this and this and this and this. And then I think my audience grew. And then I was monetizing the audience, of course. But then it got to a point where I was like, okay, what else? I already have like 100,000 followers. I was tired of just the usual, my hair before and after. I was like, let me make this into like a powerhouse. And I started thinking of ideas. It's funny because I almost went into, like a super cosmetics. I almost went into selling products.
Yeah.
I still do sell products, but I almost went into just a shop for importing natural hair products. Back then, people were not using any local products, if you remember. People were just importing the shea moistures and the like. So I was like, maybe I can do that. And then I thought about it, and there was a gap. I saw the gap, and that's how I started Spritz.
So why didn't you then go into the importing and decided to do the salon?
I think because Spritz just picked up. I saw the gap, and there was a need for a Spritz in the market because nobody was offering personalized professional hair services at that point for natural hair.
Yeah.
There were many salons, but nobody was specifically doing personalized services, and that's what I was trying to tap onto. Yeah, so I settled on that. Yeah, and then I think a year later, no, actually 2 years later, I started doing products. We formulated our own products. So we have Spritz Essentials, which is our other brand. We sell oils and just your day-to-day hair essentials that you need. Yeah, so they still worked out all of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful journey from the beginning. Zia?
Yeah, I think for me, it started off in university. I think I just saw a gap in the market for unique clothing. At that time, there was only CBD clothing, and the way Yementi House. Property Yementi House, I'm sorry, but yeah. Everyone used to have the same clothes.
True.
And I got a chance to travel and visit my sister. Then I was like, you guys have all these stores. So at that time, Facebook was coming up, and I was like, okay, I'll just try a Facebook page and see what happens. And I remember going to bed, and the next morning when we woke up, we had 500 likes. And that was
Those
so
are
big back
many.
then. We were like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, like all these people want to buy the clothes that we're selling. And then it grew over time, and now we're a sustainable fashion brand. And I'm so glad I started back then because there's so much I've learned along the way. Yeah.
And now you do kids as well.
And yes, now we do kids as well
Those
from our
home
offcuts.
or
Yeah,
something.
and home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Girl,
and
how
home.
am I knowing more about that?
And home. Yeah, so we have kids
Yeah.
and
Home.
home. Yeah, all made locally using organic cotton. Yeah.
Beryl?
For me, I think it was more of redirection. I realized that I actually loved being behind the camera more than being in front of it when I was in school. So I did journalism, but I was more interested in the production aspect. But I remember there's a lecturer who told me for women, it is very difficult
Be behind.
for you to be behind the camera and for people to actually hire you. So he told me most media houses would prefer men for that job. Yeah, so because of that, now I branched now fully into journalism. But then I felt like I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, so when I now went into my internship, I got an opportunity to do production. And I was like, this is it, I'm going to die on this mountain. Yeah, so during COVID, I think that's the time where I got more into production because a lot of brands and a lot of companies wanted to still communicate with their audiences and now they couldn't do it in person. So there was a lot of digital content creation going on. Yeah, so during that time is when I as everyone has said, I saw the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt this is a gap that I can feel. I can connect audiences to content creators or brands to their audiences and try to do it in a way where you still have excellent quality, but you don't have to break your bank. Yeah, so that's how Lumina Digital was born.
And you know what all you guys have said? You know, in business class, your first class is your business has to solve a problem. Each of you have mentioned your problem that you're solving, which is very tangible. Which is I'm thinking of my business university lectures and I'm like, yeah, you have to be solving a problem. And so I wanted to ask, when you look back on that journey, when you look back, do you see if there was any upbringing or your cultural background that played a role into you entering into entrepreneurship?
Well, definitely for me, it has to do with like family values of resilience. I grew up, very like, what is the word? Hustling. I was a hustler. I've been a hustler since back then. Even in my early employment days, I used to have like side hustle businesses. There's a time I was selling shoes, makeup. There's a time I was even a makeup artist. Yeah, so I think it's just resilience. So my upbringing was just we were taught to like kujitafutia, kujitegemea. So I think that also pushed me to be the serial entrepreneur that I am right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, similar to what Sheila said about resilience, I saw my dad work really hard to get us to the best schools, to live in good estates, and he was very integral. So in my business, I'm always like, we have to do what we said, always, always, always. So I feel like that has helped us grow to and scale, because there's never a point where we'll announce something or do something and not follow through. And then I always feel like I can't disappoint, like I can't give up now. I just have to keep going no matter what. So I am appreciative for my parents for raising us up in that way. And in addition, they were very affirming. And now when I look back, I'm grateful. My mom would always tell me, like, you're so special, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful. So those things really help you with your inner confidence. So even when I'm, having to post on social media, I'm thinking, okay, I am all these things because my mom has told me, and now it's ingrained in me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it is more towards, I feel, against the grain, because I saw my family were very employment focused. Yeah, until today I don't know if my parents really understand what I do. Like, I feel like they're still like, when are you getting a job? Yeah, so for them, if it is not 8 to 5, then
It's not a job.
what are you doing? Yeah, so I think I saw that a lot, and I remember challenging my parents and telling them, after you have finished your job and you have retired, what are you passing down to your children? And I told them, I've realized in our family, most of us actually don't branch into business. It's like employment is it. Yeah, so I told them I felt like I want to have something that I can leave behind, sort of as a legacy for my children. And I was telling them, look at how Indians do it. You know, it is this and sons, and it is passed down generation to generation. So I told them I feel like that is where I am being led. So when we finally sat down and now had that conversation, they were like, okay, we will support you. But occasionally, kuna those ones, I need to me a CV.
So that they can try and get you a job.
Send me a CV.
Guy.
Like, people send me a CV. I just want. There's an uncle who I want them to have a look. Yeah, but I think seeing how much joy I get from what I do. Yeah, my parents are now like, okay, we see that it is just beyond having a paycheck every month. So
Have you any of you ever worked? You've worked a 9 to 5. Worked a 9 to 5 for how long?
yeah, I have.
Yes. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
For how long were you guys working?
4 years for
Okay.
me. Yeah.
That's long.
I think
Yeah,
if
very
I
long.
add all of mine, over 10 years for sure.
Wow.
Like maybe 13 years.
Of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I did hospitality 7, I did IT maybe 3, 4.
Yeah.
So that's like give or take maybe 11, 10, 11.
And
maybe.
looking back, do you see any of the skills you learned in your 9 to 5, you're able to pour them into your business?
Oh,
Because there's many girls who
definitely.
today they want to be a business owner. But sometimes,
Definitely.
like my dad, he's into business. Many of my family are into business, but they always say you need that foundation before you start your own business. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. For me, especially my last placement, I used to work as a membership manager, and my role was I was involved with like, it was a membership club, so I was involved with like settling the members, of course selling the membership, and of course ensuring that just customer relation, customer service, all of that. So I feel like that's where I grew, because the members there were like owners of businesses, CEOs of companies, like the who is who in Nairobi. So my interactions with them, of course, prepared me for this journey. I know how to relate to customers. I know how to give them a better experience. I know how to listen to them, because I learned a lot of listening skills from my previous employment, and also my other jobs, like in sales. I was a salesperson. I can sell you anything. I can actually sell you. I was selling, as I said, I was selling makeup. I was selling shoes. The time I sold bags. So of course, if I was not working in that IT firm in sales, I would not have picked up those few skills. So of course, and I always tell people, like, don't be in a rush to start and be a business person, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You need those skills. You need that, you need that skill from the beginning. When you leave uni, let's say, you need to pick up something before you start your own business. So that way you know how to become a leader. That way you know how to lead the people when your team eventually grows.
And even learn how to create systems. When you're in a company, you're able to see the systems and how they work, because they've been working for some time. Then you can implement those into your business. And I think that leads us into the next question, because I was going to ask, what are some specific challenges you've faced as an female entrepreneur? And then you can also say in Kenya as well. Maybe you need to contextualize it, but just any challenges you faced as a female entrepreneur in specific. Zia, you look like you have something to say.
For me, it's just dealing with male suppliers and you feeling like you kind of have to prove yourself, and sometimes they don't take you seriously. So I've had to really be assertive and learn how to be assertive in order to get things done. And if, say, for example, I let someone else in my team handle the rider or the supply, you just see the energy changes. So I've had to learn to own my position and also believe in my competence. And I think that's a major challenge. And then also just being in fashion, already people just think that you just winged it and you happen to be there. But I constantly have to show that we are a running business, we are scalable, we are just like any other business that's out there that's growing and running.
I agree with you. Same for me. I think challenges, first of all, let's not even talk about trying to balance motherhood and being a female entrepreneur, because people don't take us seriously. They always think, oh, it's just a business, oh, it's just a salon. But Spritz is just not any other salon. Like, we have systems in place, we try and run things differently as compared to your regular salon. So those encounters and trying to just prove yourself in an industry dominated by male entrepreneurs, it's
Salons.
yeah, there's other people where managers are just male.
Okay.
You'll find most places it's the male figure who like start up the business and everything.
Yeah.
So it's very, it's even just not in the hair industry alone, in other businesses, we have very many male entrepreneurs. So if you try to compare yourselves with them, you're just like, okay, you just left there, or you just have a kaka salon. So it's definitely been challenging, and of course now balancing motherhood. Like Spritz, we just opened a new branch. Yay! So you can imagine having 2 branches, being a mother, being a wife. It's not easy trying to find balance with everything.
Yeah. I think for me it's a lot of mansplaining.
Especially because yours is a male-dominated industry.
The mansplaining is it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like it is even people who are not in the production industry, you are setting up, someone just comes, oh, you know how to mount that camera, or you know how to, and I'm like, yes, I'm in the production team, so it is always this assumption that because this is a woman, she does not know, or she does not have experience,
Especially with technology.
yes,
and
especially
equipment.
with technology and equipment.
Yeah.
It is I'm always a damsel in distress
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to that. So I think that is something that I have dealt with for a very long time, and it used to make me really upset, and I used to feel the need to prove myself and show them, in fact, I know more than you. But after some time I just decided, just let your work speak for itself. You just do what you do and let them see. And most of the times, after 2 or 3 or 4 times of trying to explain to me how something works, they slowly realize, oh, she actually knows what she's doing, so let me just leave her alone. And then there's also this assumption that I cannot be the team leader. Like, there is no way that this is the one who is leading the team. So someone can ask, you're part of the team? Yes. I wanted to talk to who's the team lead, and I'm like, it's me. Like, oh, yeah, it's you.
The shock.
Yeah. And I'm like, yes, it's me. How can I help you, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think also that, but I'm slowly learning. You cannot change people's perception, and you can't go explaining to everyone how capable you are.
Yeah.
So it is for you to do what you do best and let your work just speak for itself. Yeah.
And that leads me to the next question, because I was going to ask, especially for women running businesses in Africa, there's a lot of challenges that you face, funding being one of them, even mentorship, having someone to hold your hand, as you're saying, people are just like, it's just a salon, or it's just this. So how have you been able to overcome those challenges when you've tried to expand your businesses?
I think for me is networks. Yeah, because you just can't keep running to any other bank. So it's networks. Who are your friends? Who are your fellow women in business that you can, meet up with, talk to about your challenges? I feel like that has been very instrumental in the growth of my business, because I've been able to speak to, like-minded women in business, and, they mentor me, they help me in case I need any help financially as well. Yeah, so I think that is very important. It's something that people overlook. But who you hang out with, it's that saying, what is that saying that people say, that who you hang out with is very
A reflection on you.
a reflection on you,
Or
or
where you're
on your
gonna go.
business. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really true. Yeah.
I think I just add on by saying pace yourself. Yeah, because I feel like sometimes you want to grow, and you want to grow fast, and you want to grow now. Yeah, so I think one of the lessons I've learned is pace yourself. Yes, you want to grow the business, but also look at how the business is growing and sort of grow with it. Yeah, so don't try to grow too fast to the point where you end up actually killing your business. Yeah, but I think what she said is really true about the networks that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like rely on them and tap
Yes.
into them.
Mm.
And are there any unique opportunities you see in the Kenyan market for entrepreneurs? These days, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everyone has an entrepreneurial idea, which is great. And
Yeah.
as the African continent, we are growing, so there's so much opportunity for that. But is there anything, perspectives on unique opportunities you see within our market?
Well, for one, social media now is a big thing.
Yeah.
I think earlier on, even when I was starting, Facebook was not even, it was just mostly for, commenting on each other's posts or whatever.
Poking.
But now the fact that it's there and it's free is great, is an opportunity that was not there in our parents' time, and we should take advantage of it. And then I believe that if you master your art, it doesn't matter whether we are all of us doing fashion or all of us doing salons or whatever. Look for something that is unique to you, and in that way you bring something new to the market that can even shake it and add value. So there's many opportunities for sure. Granted that business is not easy. It's not easy, but I believe in trying and believing in yourself. Yeah.
I agree, because I mean, I think there must be over 100 salons or 1,000 salons in Nairobi only. But I feel like there's a lot of like untapped audience. It's a growing community, as Zia was saying, but there's space for everyone. Customers are too many. You can't finish all of them. We can share. We can share all the customers, but there's a very big untapped market. I believe so. Yeah.
And I was going to
Sorry. And even in content creation, I think it's the same. I feel like especially the podcast industry has really grown in the last 2 years, and it's growing everyone. Hata mimi, let me just reach
Such a
like
podcast?
1 year of marriage. I'll be there, guys.
Forward to it.
Yeah, you first actually. Yeah, but I think there's still a lot that we can do in that space. And even looking at how much investment there is in podcasts outside Kenya or Africa.
Is there
versus
money? Are
here.
people getting paid?
I think
Yes,
question.
definitely.
They're
There
getting
is-
money as
there
the
is.
podcast hosts.
I believe
You should
they
tell
are.
us. Actually, podcast tell us. You should tell us.
Yeah, I'm just like, I hope people are getting paid for this
Yes,
podcast.
actually, I feel like they are.
Okay.
And I think the secret is building a community.
Yeah.
Yes, it is
Yes.
building a community. It is not just about creating content and putting it out there, but it is also, are you building a community through your content? Because I promise you, it does not matter what you ask your community to buy, they will buy
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
true.
and I feel like there's a chance for now corporate brands to also leverage on that, make people understand your business, make people connect with your business, and not just make it about the profit. And I feel like there's no better way to do that than through creating content.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Yeah.
And as women in business, because I know I was in employment for some time, and I would see maybe the older generation wanting to always pull the young pretty girl down, so I'm like, we're supposed to be uplifting each other. So for you guys in your communities, do you feel like there's tension, like when you walk into a room, I know this one has a salon, I know this one, like, is there that camaraderie and women trying to uplift each other, or is it like women fighting with each other and trying to pull each other down? And how is it in that
That one
women in business one? Be honest. We want honesty.
That one is tricky.
Just be honest, no names, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's 50-50.
Okay.
Right? I know you ladies will agree with me. I think it's 50-50. You have those people who will cheer you on, and support you. Oh, we're in this together. When you meet up, you'll share your trade secrets, like you'll exchange ideas, you'll cry together. But then there's the other 50% of just like bring you down. They'll call KRA on you, sabotaging you. They're not happy about your wins. It's just women.
That's so sad.
Women, but I think lately there's been a whole vibe of like women supporting women in business. So I'm just hoping and praying that this year it will remain like that, because there can be that trend of women supporting women, but behind the scenes it's sabotaging, because why would you want to sabotage another person's business just for the sake of it?
Yeah.
Just
Maybe are
because
they
it's
threatened, they're intimidated.
definitely threatened,
Yeah.
intimidated by someone's success. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could be like, oh, Zia, why you're so tiny, why is your brand growing that fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jealous.
yeah.
That's
But
true.
as I always say, there's space for everyone.
Yeah.
This is something I always tell my fellow entrepreneurs. Customers ni wengi. Like there's space for everyone. There's no need to sabotage somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that this year more
Can
women,
change.
people will be supportive of
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having I think what contributes to that is also having a scarcity mentality.
Mindset,
Yeah. I feel like that really contributes
Yeah.
to that because now everyone becomes a competition
Yes.
because to you the market is really, really small. Yeah. But I think just as Sheila said, it's 50-50. I've experienced incredible women who support you, but I've also experienced women who are mean. Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'm
Me
neighbors
too.
with Africa Yuva in my workshop at Ngara.
Okay.
And we've been together, I think, for 3-4 years. And honestly, it's been so good. Like when customers can't find something at her place, she'll send them over, vice versa. If they don't have scissors, they come and, as in, it's just, I need somewhere to iron. And I can say for sure, it's just about the kind of women that you meet and I guess your character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And do you feel like there are unique pressures or expectations that are placed on female entrepreneurs? Because of course the dynamic has to be different. Men, okay, for me, or what I see, men are allowed to, you're the provider, so you don't even have to be home all the time. But as a mom, and you're balancing motherhood, having a business, there's some unique pressures. You're supposed to be a magician somehow to be able to do all that. So yeah, your perspectives.
I think when I look at women who are successful and God forbid they're divorced, they will always be blamed for the divorce. They'll be like,
woman.
oh, she
Yeah.
focused too much on her career, therefore the marriage didn't work.
Yeah.
So I find as women, number one, we are expected to put our family first
All the time.
all the time, regardless of whether you've opened a new branch. Where you're not home by it's 5 p.m. So it's definitely a challenge. I don't know how we'll ever be able to balance. I believe in just putting the best in everything that you do when you can do it, and also giving yourself grace. I give myself so much grace, by the way, because maybe one day you'll be able to spend the whole day with your child because you're an entrepreneur, but the next day maybe you have to come home at 8.
Yes.
So it's just about like just doing your best, man. That's all you can do.
I definitely agree with you, Zia, because the giving yourself grace, I think that is what happened to me last quarter of last year. Everything was just giving myself grace because there's certain societal expectations, but the reality is just the reality and there's nothing you can do about it. And what most people don't know is behind the scenes there's the sleepless nights,
You're a new mom.
New mom, or sleepless nights of like thinking, entrepreneurs, you're constantly thinking. I saw a meme the other day that without a job, having a job and being an entrepreneur, the same person is just having the same emotion, like crying. And I was like, people always think that now as a woman and you're in entrepreneurship, it's easy. It's not easy. It's just as hard. And as I was saying, that behind the scenes there's the sleepless nights, there's the constantly thinking of like new ideas for the business. I'm sure even you at 4 a.m. is when you're like, oh, I should have done XYZ. And yet society still expects you to be this type of a woman or put your family first. We have to find the balance and give ourselves grace.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why I usually joke with my friends who are in business and I tell them when the time comes, choose your partner wisely as well. Because I feel like that also makes or breaks a woman as an entrepreneur. I feel like we are affected more by our relationships than even men are. I think for me it is, first of all, shout out to my man.
We are sorry. Hey, we are sorry.
Yeah, I feel like there was that pressure for now that you're married, you have to be home by this time. You have to make sure there's food on the table. You're then thinking about the menu and also thinking about the client. So I was like, this is going to be really, really hard. But then I have learned also, like, having the right support system within your home. It really, really helps you. So I feel like he has played a really, really huge role in easing the pressure on my end, because you have that pressure in your mind. You're thinking, yes, I need to be this, I need to be that, and he's like, you know what, it's okay. You, for now, just be an entrepreneur and be a businesswoman. I will wash the dishes.
Claps.
Hey.
That's
so I
having
think
a good partner, supporting
yeah,
partner
it
to
really
take off
helps.
the load, the mental load. Even.
Yeah.
So what's one thing about being an entrepreneur that people don't usually see or understand?
It's what I just said. Like,
Sleepless
sleepless
nights.
nights.
Look at you guys. I'm just like, these are the millionaires. These are the people with money. But we don't see the other.
We don't see the 2
Tell
hours
us
of
what we
sleep.
don't see. The 2 hours of sleep.
Sleepless nights, emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a big team. I
Yeah.
think I'm in charge of, like, I feed like over 100 people.
Okay.
So when I'm seeing there's no work, or when the bookings
Yeah.
or business is slow, I'm
What
stressed
are we gonna
because I'm
do?
like, I'm supposed to feed over 100 families. What's next?
Yeah.
So I'm constantly, it's again, emotional roller coaster. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy to have that pressure
On you.
on you, and to the next morning expected to be this perfect leader. It's not easy at all. It's not easy, but people don't get to see that. You just want to see the bubbly Sheila, the happy Sheila. There's a lot. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes.
I guess also the fear and the doubts that you
fear
go
and the
through. Like, for every new thing you want to do, every
Yeah.
new idea, there's always that voice telling you, will this work? Will it really work? The self-doubt, like, are you good enough? I think people just see boss babes.
Yes, you
is a
boss
boss.
babe. Boss babe. You're seeing Zia's shoes today. Cameraman, please just zoom in
She does not
to the
relate.
Louis Vuitton. Yeah, so that's what we are seeing.
Yeah, it's true. That's what a lot of people see. But there's that other side where you're constantly doubting and constantly having to reassure yourself, and also the failures. There are things you have launched, it hasn't worked, or you have tried, it hasn't worked. But people don't get to see that. It's not all roses.
The bills, because as much as the
Yes,
business is
the
making
bills.
money,
Yes.
you still have to pay for things, and
Yeah.
people don't see that. Your employees, sorry to say, they just want their
The money at the end of the month.
They don't care about not having products or not having electricity. In fact, when lights go and KPLC is doing that thing, you will be called like a million times. The customer is waiting. So there's a lot. The VAT, taxes.
Yes.
Then they
Now
just
they
want their money.
increase.
First of all, if you dare deduct them that 5% withholding or just the 16%, it's a fight. It's a fight. And at the end of the day, you have to protect the business. Because you have to, pay your taxes so that KRA doesn't come to close
for you.
close the same business that is feeding you. Because they'll come and lock the doors if you don't do that. But they don't see that. So there's a lot that happens.
Just to add on to what Sheila has said, I think social media has put this perception of entrepreneurship as this glamorous and rosy affair, but they don't see the seasons. You'll just see maybe, hey, Kinazia are marketing hard. They don't know rent is due. Literally. So I feel like I would like to share more about the seasons of entrepreneurship and the behind the scenes, as Sheila had mentioned earlier, because there's a lot that goes into it, a lot. And as much as it does bear fruit, the more consistent you are and the more you persevere, there are downs, the ups and downs for sure.
I was actually a victim of that, of seeing
The
the glamour,
The glamorous.
entrepreneurship, and being like, that's it. I actually used to say, now I'm going to be in more control of my time. You actually end up working more when the perception is now you will work less.
But I think because I'm in that space, many of the people in my life are entrepreneurs. I'm the few who who are still working. So I know one day I'll get there. I really do want to open a business, but I always feel like at least sometimes those sleepless nights are for you. You know, sometimes I sleepless night for a boss in the UK who is, I'm just like, you know, at least the sleepless night is for me. This is me, my perspective. It may be wrong, but at least, as you said, it's for you and the legacy and the family that you. So at least maybe there's more. I don't know what the word is.
Fulfillment.
More fulfillment
because
in
it's
what
your
you're
passion.
doing. That's where I see from that lens. But also, it's good, for you guys to debunk and show it's not roses and it's not less time at it to do fun things. Today I'm playing tennis the whole day. You know, that housewife business life.
Yeah.
There are things that are different on the ground.
Yeah. We'll
And
wait
I think-
for you on the other side.
Huh?
We'll come back for part 2.
Yeah, we're now on the other side.
We'll come back.
And I think that segues well into the next question I wanted to ask. What advice would you have for young Kenyan women who are aspiring to start a business? Because as we said, many women are so ambitious these days. We are grateful that times have changed. And when we see women like you who have run successful business for decades, you know, we aspire. So what advice do you have for us?
For me, the one thing that most people don't talk about is accept failure.
Wow. Wow.
You know, you can close your business like 2 or 3 times. You know, go back and think of fresh ideas and then start something new. You don't have to just beat yourself about it. It's okay. Everybody fails. We're not perfect. We're human beings. So that's one thing that I think most young entrepreneurs, they get into business not just wanting to, you know, be ahead or stay ahead of the game, and forgetting that it's okay to fail. You'll just pick yourself up and dust yourself and try again.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. People are afraid, and people don't talk about failure.
Yeah.
And it's okay, even when you're trying to put systems in place and it doesn't work, it's okay. You just take your time, strategize and do it again.
Zia?
I'd say believe in yourself. Believe in your idea so much it has no choice but to materialize, and be consistent. I feel like I have a number of friends who are like, oh, I want to start selling hair products, say for example. They try 1 or 2 posts, they're like, oh, it's not working, so I shut it down. But you actually have to do you have to be consistent. That's the only way to work, not from 2 posts. So also on social media, it doesn't matter how many likes you get, you just have to keep trying and just stay consistent.
Nice. I think for me, I would say build yourself and your character as well. Business is not just about profit. It is also about who you are. Your gift will bring you before kings, that it is your character that will sustain it. So you can
Okay.
so true. Too many 310. So it is also about who you are and who you're becoming while you are in business. So you can have the gift, you can have the strategies, but your character can actually be your downfall. So I would say if you're thinking about business, think about also who you are, your character, and who you're becoming.
Because even people normally say like your name, I don't know what the phrase is, but like your name is what you know keeps the business going. If people they say Sheila, and they're like, oh, good things associated with her, but if there are bad things, that's not the downfall of your business. So that's actually really true. Such wisdom, character, consistency, accept failure. Great lessons. Okay, 2 more questions before we finish. If you weren't running your business, what would you be doing now instead?
I'd be a housewife. I would be a
the
housewife.
best life. Okay.
Me too. I would be maybe a farmer, a gardener. But maybe I would be still somewhere there doing sales.
Farming, selling
it's
your
always
produce.
it's selling my produce because that spirit is still in me. I'm a hustler by by birth. Is it by what? I just love selling things. So, but for sure, I know I would be somewhere, in my garden, just there, putting my tereres in the group for people to come and buy.
It's true.
Wow. I think for me, I'd also be a housewife with a small business.
A profitable business or those businesses?
It doesn't
Even
matter.
for fun. Even for fun.
I don't know. I can't see you as a housewife. For real.
I also thought there is no way I can do that, but I realized I actually can.
And then let's end on a high note. What's your favorite way to unwind or celebrate after a big win?
That's a good one. You know, I don't have a social life, so I'm just trying to
Yeah, you need a social life.
entrepreneurship is not easy.
Yeah.
For me, definitely a nice solo date at the
Okay.
spa.
Nice.
I really enjoy like having like a intense hardcore massage.
Yeah.
So that would be for me ideal.
Yeah.
And of course, if I'm incorporating the team, I love going out with the team, like maybe just to celebrate maybe a good month or a good quarter. Maybe we'll have dinner or we'll have like departmental, you know, like awards like today, this morning we just had one where I was awarding like best performing stylist and also improved stylist. So yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
How do you celebrate after a big win?
Yeah, maybe just hanging out with the team or having a nice meal.
Okay.
Going somewhere nice with my girls is also a way to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it's the same. Food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food, for
good
sure.
food.
With you and who?
And
Your husband.
yeah, me and my husband, me and my
Which one
bestie.
Boy.
Now everything
With
is just
the
me and my
team.
husband.
Yeah, let me tell you. And I've not even started.
Me and my husband. It's not even been
My
nice.
husband.
I'm with my husband, you all. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Good food. And maybe a nice anime. If I'm doing it by myself,
Yeah.
a nice animation.
Yeah.
Just chilling. If it is with the team or even my bestie, food. Yeah.
And I've had one last question come up for me because I think you've talked about the challenges that are there. So I wanted to know, like, who is your community? Who would you say are your community when things are tough? You've gotten some bad news. Who are you calling? Who
Yeah.
is recharging you? Yeah.
My friends, my girls.
But you
As
just
in
said you're
even
not social.
no, as in you won't find me
Out and about.
out and about,
Okay.
you know, popping champagne.
Yeah. But they're
Like
friends
I'll be maybe once a month,
Yeah.
but not
all the time.
all the time. But yeah, of course, even before I speak to my partner, I'll just call my friend and I'm like, oh, it's been a tough day, you know, and she'll just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good listener. She'll just listen, and then she'll be like, okay, let's book a spot somewhere. Let's go have a glass of wine or something. Yeah.
My husband. They sound like Beryl.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
my first call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To sort out or just to
Anything.
listen, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows all the employee
Problems.
drama, everything
Yeah.
is inside. Eh.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I'd say my husband for sure. My family, they have been really supportive. I think they actually saw the businesswoman in me even before I did. So
Yeah.
like for my brothers, they tell me, by the way, why are you not opening your own company?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have been really, really supportive, and definitely my best friend. Like she's literally cried with me. Yeah, in different transitions. You know, when you have lost audio and you don't know how to tell the client.
What do you do in that scenario?
I would
That means
murder
they have to
you.
reshoot.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So
For
it's-
free. You don't
yeah,
charge them
for
again.
free.
Oh.
It has, and actually, it happened with. Okay, so I used to have a crush on Najib Balala.
Oh.
Like insane.
Banana.
Your husband is
Like
listening.
insane. He knows. He knows. And he was like, by there, I understand.
But he's handsome.
Yeah, he was like, by
man.
there, babe, I
I
understand.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that was, I think, one of the things that taught me, embrace failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're shooting with him. Honestly, I think I was just so focused on him, and I'm like,
And
he's
his
here,
handsomeness.
you know, and I'm like, hey, he even looks better in person, you know. Yeah, and I completely forgot to record.
The
And it's
audio
crazy
now.
because I'm listening.
Oh, so
Like
you're
I'm actually
but
listening.
to
Yeah, I'm
record.
just listening to him, but I've not
Guy.
pressed record. That was crazy. So
Okay, so how did that conversation go? What did you tell
I just
him?
told the client, honestly, I don't have the audio for this. I am so sorry. Whatever repercussions, I am ready and willing.
Yeah.
But I am also willing to do the shoot again.
Again.
Like without any cost
Yeah.
implications, and just add value, like whatever more I can do.
For free.
Whichever more, yeah, for free. That time you can unanyenyekea.
So did he come and reshoot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we did
Yeah.
reach, and I'm glad they offered Greece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank God for Greece.
Yeah.
Hey, we thank God
Yeah.
for Greece. Yeah. So
Wow.
I think for such moments, I feel like I've really had people who I can just call and rant and cry
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
move on. I think having that support system is so important.
Important.
It is.
And to keep your sanity in this entrepreneurship world. Maybe 5 years later we'll come for this episode when then I'll be like, I'm part of the
On
group.
the other side.
But I've been an entrepreneur. Let me say, I used to sell lollipops in school.
Wow.
I think that I mean, everyone used to know for like, because I was cool, you couldn't have snacks. It was just food, like food. You couldn't have sweets.
Yeah.
So me, I was like
Contraband.
illegally, it was contraband. But I made so much money, guys. Yeah, honestly, because the whole school knew it was me.
Only
And I
you
sell,
selling.
pin pops and something else. So I think that's where my entrepreneurship journey came from. Then I had an auntie who lived in Ghana, but she was Kenyan. She was one of my mom's good friends. So those days Ankara was coming in. They used to make really nice dresses there.
Yeah.
So she started me off in business. She was like, I'll buy you 10 dresses for free. I'll give it to you, you sell. So I was like, I've made all this money. So now we started doing a business with her, selling African dresses.
Okay.
And then I also had a stint doing hair.
And then what happened?
Oh, I
Every
know.
time I saw it happen.
I knew you actually because of the hair thing.
I was
Even
selling,
on
like,
your
nice-
page, you had tagged it. Like,
the glam shop.
the glam shop.
everything.
Yeah.
That was COVID. COVID hit, then we were allowed to work from home. So I was like, hey, with all this extra time, I'm at home. And I really love so my natural hair is not open. I like doing it in like ponytails or like protective styles. And I didn't find, you see a problem? I'm trying to solve.
Yes.
I didn't find the styles I was looking for here, and I knew where I could get them. So I was like, let me start this page. And honestly, the reception was so good.
Yeah.
I sold out all the stock I brought.
Oh,
But now
nice.
COVID ended and we're back to work. And I was worried about how am I going to balance working and then running this business. But I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not dead. It may come back.
Make a comeback.
Yeah, now I need to. I'll talk to you guys for tips on how to balance the two.
Yeah.
But there's an entrepreneurship bone in me. So who knows? Stay tuned. But thank you so much, guys, for all your nuggets of wisdom, for sharing from such a vulnerable, open place. We're so proud of you and what you guys are doing, like such amazing things. And just wishing you the best as you continue on this journey. So thanks, guys, for listening in. It's been such an amazing conversation. I'm sure you've picked up some great points as well. So comment below anything that stood out for you, a highlight for you, something you found interesting, and like, share this video. I'm sure it's going to speak to someone else. And bye for now.